Hello, beloved souls. It's Adele here. As we move into a new year, I felt called to open a conversation that feels timely and important, especially within spiritual and conscious communities. As awareness deepens, many of us begin to see more clearly. We notice patterns, language, behavior, and unconscious dynamics that may have once gone unnoticed. And this clarity is a gift. But awareness alone is not the destination. What I have observed is that awareness naturally asks to be held with greater responsibility. When it is not, it can quietly turn into distance, judgment, or subtle separation, often without us realizing it. That is why this reflection is called awareness without superiority. This is not about lowering awareness or dimming truth. It is about allowing awareness to be guided by compassion, love, and presence, so that it becomes something that unites rather than separates. As awareness deepens, it can sometimes be misunderstood as being above others, as though seeing more automatically places us higher. But awareness is not a hierarchy. It begins with recognizing how limited our perception as human beings often is, and how easily we are energetically influenced without noticing or realizing. Most of the time, we see only fragments of people, events, or situations. We respond not just to what is happening, but to the emotional and energetic atmosphere around us, often shaped by group dynamics, unspoken expectations, or collective momentum. This becomes especially clear in group settings. People may feel a subtle pressure to respond, agree, or participate in a certain way, not because it feels true to them, but because everyone else is doing it. Choices are often made automatically, without conscious intention, sincerity, or heartfelt meaning behind the action. The same dynamic appears even in intuitive or reflective spaces. When individuals sitting together in the same room are asked to respond independently, they may still arrive at the same conclusion, even when that conclusion is incorrect. Awareness, in these moments, is not about having the right answer, but about noticing how powerful the energetic influence of the group field or groupthink can be. Seeing this does not make someone better or more evolved. It simply brings greater awareness to how easily perception can be shaped. When we begin to see how perception is shaped, not just individually but collectively, something else naturally softens as well. The need to be certain, to be right, or to assume we are seeing the full picture. From this place, awareness remains free of superiority. It does not claim certainty or assume it knows the full truth. It recognizes how much is unseen, unheard, and unknown, and it remains aware of how easily perception can be shaped by collective influence and groupthink. From this place, awareness chooses discernment over automatic reaction and clarity over conformity. As awareness grows, distance can sometimes appear for a very different reason than judgment or withdrawal. Often, it arises from a desire to live in integrity. When someone becomes clear about their values, choices, or way of living, there can be a natural need to create space. Not to reject others, but to protect clarity while it is still strengthening. Distance in this phase can be a way of staying aligned rather than being pulled back into familiar patterns or group behavior. This need for space is not a failure of connection. Even in psychology, Carl Jung spoke about how an individual must sometimes withdraw from the collective in order to individuate, to hear their own inner voice more clearly before re-entering the whole. In the early stages of change, external influence is powerful. Being surrounded by old habits, shared norms, or collective routines can quietly draw a person back into choices they no longer wish to make. Creating space becomes a form of self-respect. Over time, something shifts. As inner alignment stabilizes, the external environment and external influence lose their power. What once felt tempting or influential no longer does, and presence becomes possible again without compromise. And yet, distance can still appear, this time from the other direction. When someone is steady in their choices, others may feel uncomfortable, restricted, or quietly challenged, even when no judgment is being expressed. Sometimes separation happens not because awareness withdraws, but because difference becomes visible. This is an important distinction. Distance does not always mean disconnection. It can be the natural result of integrity meeting group dynamics. Awareness here is not about changing others or fitting back in. It is about learning how to stay true to what feels aligned, while remaining open, human, and free from judgment. As awareness matures, it becomes less reactive and less dual. It no longer needs to measure itself against others or interpret difference as separation. Learning how to hold both integrity and connection without superiority or withdrawal is where awareness begins to mature into wisdom. As awareness deepens, it sometimes brings us into contact with truths that are uncomfortable or painful. When we begin to see suffering we once participated in or normalized, awareness does not always arrive gently. It can come with grief, guilt, or strong inner reactions. In those moments, an inner voice may arise that feels morally clear and emotionally charged. It recognizes harm, injustice, or suffering that can no longer be unseen. This voice is not trying to dominate others. It is responding to a truth that has deeply touched the heart. The challenge is not the awareness itself, but learning how to hold it without turning it into inner condemnation toward our past versions of self, or outward judgment toward those who are still living without awareness. This is where spiritual superiority can subtly form. Not as a belief that I am better than you, but as a forgetting of how gradual awakening actually is, how recently we ourselves were living without this awareness and without this heart-based discernment. Awareness that has opened the heart often becomes more sensitive to suffering, violence, and harm in all its forms, including the ways these energies are normalized, reinforced, or repeatedly engaged with. The invitation here is not to judge what others enjoy, support, or participate in, but to become more conscious and take responsibility for our own choices, rather than trying to correct the choices of others. True awareness does not use insight as a weapon. It does not try to shock, correct, or awaken others through force, but neither is it silent or passive. It chooses to live in integrity and, when appropriate, to speak from that place, sharing insight, experience, and truth without coercion. Awareness leads by example, expresses itself honestly, and remains consistent over time, while still holding compassion for those who are finding their own way. This is how awareness stays clean, rooted in integrity, guided by the heart, and free from the need to be right. As awareness deepens, the real work becomes learning how to hold clarity without closing or hardening the heart. Clarity allows us to see what feels aligned and what does not. The heart allows us to stay connected, compassionate, and human while seeing clearly. When clarity is present without the heart, awareness can become detached or disconnected from love. And when the heart is present without clarity, awareness can remain loving but ungrounded, easily caught in illusion or bypassing what is actually happening. Either way, awareness becomes unbalanced. Hardening often happens when clarity is used as protection rather than presence. We stop listening, stop feeling, and begin to withdraw, not because we lack compassion, but because we are trying to stay safe in our awareness. Heart-based clarity does something different. It allows us to remain open without being pulled back into unconscious patterns. It does not require agreement, justification, or sameness. It simply allows difference to exist without turning it into distance. This kind of clarity is patient. It understands that awakening unfolds at different times and in different ways. It does not rush others, and it does not abandon itself. When clarity and the heart move together, awareness becomes both grounded and gentle. We can stand firmly in our values while remaining present, curious, and kind. And this is where awareness comes full circle. Not as something that separates us, but as something that deepens connection within ourselves and with others. As we come to the end of this reflection, I want to leave you with something simple. Awareness is not about seeing more than others. It is about seeing more honestly, including our limits, our conditioning, and our shared humanity. When awareness is held with the heart, it does not rush, correct, or harden. It listens. It stays present. It chooses integrity without needing separation. You're allowed to be clear without being cold. You're allowed to live your values without needing others to mirror them. And you are allowed to remain compassionate while standing firmly in what feels true to you. Awareness, when lived this way, becomes a quiet strength, one that does not divide, but gently invites deeper understanding, beginning within. If this message spoke to your heart, take a moment to notice where awareness in your own life is asking to be held with greater compassion, clarity, and responsibility. Together, we raise the frequency of Earth. Every time awareness is lived without judgment, without superiority, and with the heart fully present. See you in the next video, where we'll take another step toward health, balance, and higher vibration.